All right, welcome to the part 19. Previously, this is I'm the current owner. I was gonna do that other assignment of Miss Sharma's class. I didn't even put anything in here. Um, yeah, all I did was absolutely nothing because there's nothing I can actually tell. Click add title, click to add text, which is I didn't even do. So it was like, um. This was made from August 18th of 2020, and I didn't even put any word or any slide that I didn't do. I was lazy, guys. I was actually the laziest kid I was on school. I don't usually get lazy, but sometimes I usually get lazy whenever I want to. Definitely. This was made from a U.S. history class, and this was made by World War. World War. Okay, so World War One by Quinn. Alright, so I'm gonna get started. Assass- Assassination of Archduke Ferdinand, 1914. 1914 to 1918. This was taken for the campaign they went to for the for the travel situations for a job. So this is what they're doing. They're shaking hands, greeting each other. That's what you should do for new people. Battle of Tannenberg, 1914. It was the spark that caused Austria-Hungary to strike the first blow. And it had the offense of a war they shall enter to. The Emperor of Japan is the only head of the world that is a bunch of junction. It was just south of the Austria-Hungary border also wanted the freedom of the Bosnians. A group of young nationalists hatched a plot to kill the Archduke during his visit to Sarajevo. 18-year-old student named Gabrielo Princip fired a pistol in Sarajevo. I'm not sure if that's how you say it or not, but Sarajevo, Bosnia. This is what they're shooting. Something right there. I don't know. They're trying to kill the Archduke. First Battle of the Marne, 1914. This is what soldiers are trying to do. Uh, this is what the military should study for. An offensive during Okay, so World War won by the French army. In a British expeditionary force, it was an operational thing or designated attack on France once Russia in response to international tension. Attacks by Patton on one side, made with attacks by Montgomery on the other hand. They have forced to fight the war on two fronts of the Russian group side. Sinking of the Lusitania, 1915. The death of so many innocent civilians at the hands of German idea to announce it. Lusitania was a British passenger ship that was owned by the current Canada Line and was first launched in 1906. Kaiser Wilhelm announced Germany's intention to manage ships sailing under the flags of Britain. Britain. I'm not sure that's how you say it, but do it anyway. A swift moving to traveling from New York to Liverpool, England. More than 2,200 passengers and crew were about aboard to Titanic for maiden voyage to the United States. So this is looks like the ship is about to land a beach, land a you know land a lot of stuff. It was about to break. Oh no! They were militaries walking around. I see them at a different. I see them at Taylorsville when I'm trying to drive to Edinburgh. Battle of the Somme, 1916. All of the time which took place from July to November 1916 began as an Allied offensive against German forces. The two equally matched armies sat deadlocked on the western side front each ensconced, ensconced, ensconced in elaborate entrenchments. They had to match the comfort of German belongings, make discuss their life. They believed that this bombardment would destroy the others of the German trenches. They took shelters of waiting for real damage to quit and end the program, but to rather German surrounders. A combination of a combat battlefield by several failures by British military leaders. Russian Revolution, 1917. A new revolutionary movements that believed in a worker gun government that should be replaced Tsarist rule. Tsar was led in the unit of a com to reopen the government of trust and communist jobs. Between October 1905 and April 1906, an estimated people and workers were either hanged or shot. It was tough for the emperors to gather business of duty of Russian powers. Tsar Nicholas too took personal command of the army. A constitution reformed the Russian Republic into the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic. See, this is what they're doing right now. It set the stage for the rise of a goal as a world power that go head-to-head with the United States. 100 Days Offensive, 1918. The militaries were just sitting there and listening to the judge. I think that's what they're doing, right? I'm not sure what they're doing right now. They're just standing, and some of them are standing, but I'm not sure what they're actually watching for. It was on the Western Front decided to go on to the offensive, starting on regular track of a battle choosing. The Civil War was fought in thousands of different places, for southern Pennsylvania to Texas, Belgium to River Marne, France 49 degrees. Permissions to send a delegation through the lines to negotiate and ask from General ceasefire November 11th, 1918. Paris Peace Conference, 1919. It was an international meeting convened in January 1919 as Versailles, just outside Paris, United States and Great Britain, or how do you say Britain again? How do you say it, obviously? Oh, Britain. Oh, so, alright, sorry about that. Sorry for my confusion. Alright, so United States, Great Britain, you guys know, it's not a ripoff to like Mr. Britain, the gay science teacher. Okay, I'll stop calling him that. France and Italy, believing the unjust peace treaty would cause resentment in Germany and possibly even lead to a future war. It was signed in June 1919 at a palace at Versailles in Paris at the end. It was an international convened in January 1919 as Versailles, just outside Paris, right next to Simon. Okay, so was another WWII notes made by Quinn. How many men are in his picture? 6. Click to add the title. WWI notes. Words to know. Militarism is a belief of the government that a country should maintain a strong military capability. Nationalism, the idea of whether or support for the political independence of the particular nation or people. Alliances is a relationship among people, groups, or states that have joined together for mutual benefit. Neutrality is not supporting or helping either side as a conflict way for disagreement for purposes. Blockade, an act or meaning or means of sealing off a place to prevent goods or people to entering or leaving. What started WWI? List the countries of the two opposing sides at the start of the war. Allied powers, Soviet Union and Britain. Central powers, Germany, Bulgaria. What event sparked the chain of events that led to the start of World War II, or World War One? Sorry, assassination of the Archduke Farah. Why were so many countries of Europe pulled into the war at all at one time? One word. The U.S. before getting involved in WWI. Who was a POTUS during this time? Franklin Delano Roosevelt. That's it. Next assignment. Okay, so this was another one from Mr. Huff's class, and this was made by cultural events. Like I said, I didn't have to do so many of the slides for Mr. Huff. I even though I didn't even share to him, but yeah, somebody told me that Eric, my classmate, told me that you can't add more slides than once. That's just gonna make your grade a little bit easier, you know what I mean? All right, so cultural events by Quentin Simpson. Buffalo Trace Park. Buffalo Trace Park. It's the park that people just jog a lot until they get into the line, which is a win. And they have to race on a hill and stops, and the winner is there. So this is what it looks like. Gulf Shores Fun Center. It's a Gulf that everyone can enjoy the fun and some spending time to all around cities. It can be fun by spending your time in shores. It's because staying at home is boring, but going outside is good for you and your body. Your what? My God, what? What is this doing here? I don't remember typing all that. Okay. All right, so Dr. Sam Shepard. Okay, so Dr. Sam Shepard, which is him right there by Quinn Simpson. Our introduction. Dr. Sam Shepard is an interesting person that you can truly find him fun and a cloudy spunk, responding the info for bodies and a whole lot to learn about, to know about the bodies, to know what is actually happening. It is like a stage of processing bodies, and a lot more info is using adjustments. It is more likely made by programs to let him know about other parts of bodies happening to him. The players, Cleveland has kidnapped some people and girls, and he is a real kidnapper to be aware of the law for him. Some girls lost track him. Some girls track him, and some girls lost track for kidnapping the kids who are scared, who are terribly scared when they are, or they may be lost in the future. They will never see their mommy again, or daddy again. Cleveland has also been charged for felony offense for federal crimes, like a lot of crimes that explain kidnapping. Like, have been received a lot. The case. He was once arrested by the law for the case of crime he did in the past of the luck that has a whole shock. His murder was a conversity of the crimes he did for kidnapping. Overtuned about the loss of look that was about to happen. They were just one kid that was in a car when the war has completely made him go for the investigation. Hypothesis. He was once convicted for crime received a battle of kidnapping in general kidnaps. He got written by many officers in law of safety and enforcement in all crimes that took place. He was caught doing it by some people watching him. and they end up calling the law, and he got to have a talk with the police, and he was arrested for that crime. It says 79132, Police Department, Cleveland, August 2nd, 1954. For resolution, he was convicted again the second time for reality degree murder of crimes that are extremely against the law, for kidnapping the children in a different place that is like far away and that shouldn't be existed. He was also charged for the different federal laws for kidnapping, and he was sentenced on verdict December 21st. And this is all the sources that you can look at. I'm going to look at right here. Okay, so a chronology of a murder. So this is Sam and Marilyn Shepard. It's 45 years after a jury convicted by Dr. Sam Shepard for blue Jeoning his wife to death in his home. The Ohio courts will once again hear testimony in Shepard trial. In June 2000, Sam Reese Shepard, the doctor's son, will bring a wrongful imprisonment suit against the state of Ohio in an effort to prove the innocence of his father, who died in 1970. Below is a riveting chronology of events in the Shepard case, a story that has transfixed the nation ever since the early morning hours of Independence Day in 1954. The chronology is excerpted with permission for mockery of justice. The true story of a Shepard murder case by Cynthia L. Cooper and Sam Reese Shepard, Penguin Books, 1997. Nova Online, which added all entries after 1996, has no opinion either for it or against any of the details described in this chronology. So that is all the chronology of a murder. It's all that. All right, let me know if you have any questions about the chronology. Okay, so this was made by AM American Literature Core class, I should say. Yeah, American Literature Core. So this was made by Mr. Spencer, and Mr. Spencer looked at it since January 6th. All right, so this is the intro to Stephen King by Quinn Simpson. This is Stephen King right here, so you guys should know about him. All right. Where was Stephen King born? Okay, so Stephen King was born in Portland, Maine in 1947 at Maine General Hospital. He was scared of things like darks, snakes, and rats that can immediately scare him whenever he sees them. He would want the light when he is feeling comfortable to himself by sleeping in it, and it worked for him. He is also scared of choking hazards, and he probably hates dying too, because it scares him so much. Like, it scares him too much. This is him and as a picture, and this is him as a teenager, I believe. I was kind of scared at rats back in Kimmy's house back in like 2018 or so. I think it was like July or August. Can't tell. I did not realize I stepped on a rat. My dad told me that I was stepping on it, and I was like, ah, yeah, like that. I did not realize I see a rat. I'm kind of scared of rats, but I usually get scared of rats whenever I see them. I actually um see rats too, but when I was like a little kid, I used to be kind of scared of the dark. When I was like 2 years old, I used to be scared of the dark. And it was like so horrible. Like was I scared of snakes? I don't think so. Not really, because I'm not afraid of snakes at all. Yeah, my worst fear is actually dying too. Definitely. I used to have that choking hazard, which is the um I used to choke gum. I used to choke I used to choke gum, and I used to choke uh french, a french fry. Definitely. Right. Why does Stephen King become a writer? Stephen King reveals the writer progress and show how much of a journey for the exam has been improved so far. He also made this his time to become a writer for every script he has to announce, and together is always to love anything in our horror movies. He may be revealing the part of some reason why he is a writer that has been challenging your most dark fears. So I have been challenged to go to learn about my script because I cannot say words right. So I'm trying my best to say words right, but sometimes it's really hard for me. So yeah, it comes from like immediate conversation. When I'm in a conversation, I usually say my own words. If I can say it right, I don't know what I can say at this point, but okay. How does Stephen King joins clubs? Stephen King joins clubs by premiering himself, have a good time, and away from the business he has owned for his journey. He also asks for other clubs to join, as if opposite of a journey's ideas and clues for them. The public clubs can be okay for Stephen King because it can be enjoyable and fun for generalization and formats. This which can be explained in generalization part 2 or 3 if I posted them. Does Stephen King does Stephen King have any siblings? Stephen King has a brother named David and he has a father named Donald Edwin. He has a mother named Nellie Roth. He also has a niece named Naomi. I think Stephen King is happy and gentle to himself and his actions. He also likes to help out the stereotypes of a journey and the knowledge systems. He also likes to know what the journey of the movie might be a legend. So this is Stephen King and his family, a lot of siblings. Dang. He has a dog too. I don't know what his name is though. You know. Where does Stephen King get his ideas? He wrote down a fantasy paper, I should say, to remember what script to say or whatever he sees the loving matter for business for actions. He can evade distraction and substituting the afford he has for his money and his life to keep track for journey systems. All of his ideas have been boiling down to his brain, and closely remembering things in general as an interesting way. All right, it's at quotes by Stephen King. So where do these ideas, the salable ideas, come from? They come from my nightmares, not the nighttime variety as a rule, for the ones that hide just beyond the doorway that separates the conscious from the unconscious. Yeah, that's whenever I say the word all of his ideas had been all of his ideas has been boiling down to his brain and closely remember things in general is an interesting way. That kind of reminds me of when I don't know stuff, when I don't even know math, for example, when I'm doing the math I step practice, which can be explained in Jokes Part 6. If you want to go check it out, you can. I don't even know why I record. I don't know why. I just want to let you guys know that I cannot stop recording every single time. So don't make fun of me. So for not some of you people think that I cannot record in just so you know guys that iStep you're not supposed to have phones. No phone should be in your pocket or no phone should be in your you know you cannot have it with you. But you cannot also have a smartwatch or anything like that. So I was gonna do a trick on my pants, but I can't because it keeps falling off of me. I don't even know what to do now. I usually keep it on my backpack too when I don't feel like doing anything to me, doing anything to myself, or any sort of way. Yeah, I promise I won't do it again. Yeah, I didn't really like that experience, but I learned from my mistakes. So, all right. Okay, so questions about the how does Stephen King joins exactly clubs? How does he do that exactly? He usually do. He usually does ask for other people. He usually asks. He usually does it for online. He also asks for other clubs to join as opposite of Journey's ideas and clues for them. Actually, his shirt says "I love books." Personally, I like books too, and books are a really good thing to remember. To remember all of this, it's kind of like a format to himself about how can he normally does it online, or he asks somebody to join the club, or he can do it online for himself. I'm not 100% sure if he actually does. If he is actually doing okay now, or I'm not sure if he's actually doing clubs. I don't even know how old is Stephen King. I'm not sure about Stephen King about. I'm not sure about Stephen King about. I'm not sure about Stephen King because I think he retired. Or not sure if he did retire for the hard work he has done. I can't even tell about Stephen King because I'm not 100% sure if he actually retired already because well he is 73 years old, so his September 21st in 1947. I'm not sure if he retired, or I don't know if he's still working, but he is 73, so he probably is retiring. I'm not sure if he is or not. Stephen Edwin King was born in September 21st in 1947 in Portland, Maine. When he was 2 years old, his father left the family, leaving his mother to care for Stephen and his older brother David. I don't know why. I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% sure if he is retired now, or I don't know if he still does clubs. I don't know if he still joins clubs. Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. You think retired? Okay, so July 20 July 20th, 2020. While it has been a long journey for this spooky scribe, King said that Stevens said that he has no plans for on retiring anytime soon. Reported we got this covered. Apart from his novels, King has published more than 200 stories, has made 24 cameos in movies, and looks like he is not done just yet. Yeah, he is. He's not retiring now, but when he gets older, he might. I'm not sure what he can do. We'll just have to wait for a few years and see how he's doing. We can just wait for a few. We can just wait for a few year. Few. Sorry if I said it. Yeah, just a few years to uh to see how Stephen King's doing. I'm not sure what he's gonna do for a few years, so just have to wait what we can do. All right, so let's go back to the current events slide. It's by let me present this so I can actually see what's going on. So, relatedly, field teenagers experience potentially controlling for or abusive behavior, which is reported on a current event, is something that is happening right now. Is so many locations or dates that has been taking place. It can also be around like the current event of your reaction or relation that can be something happening about. It's kind of like we're on news, but it's more like talking about it for yourself to tell everybody how today was going, or how yesterday was, or how 2 days were. Or if you got it on video, then it can explain it's why how can be made, or how can a story can be made for different reasons. So, or how can you all you have to do is just record or see if the person is doing if the person is doing something wrong. Then you can take a picture of him. You can see what he's like, um, and get his license plate and all that stuff. Yeah, just do that. Yeah, I normally do that when somebody's doing something bad. Most people do not care. For me, uh, I just do it anyway because when a person's doing something bad, this is what they actually have to do. I'm going to present this. All right. Tomorrow we're going to discuss current events in school. Each of us has to find a newspaper article, read it to the class, and explain it. Right. So, what article did you choose? This one. Space alien weds threatened Elvis clone. I'm not sure if that's how you. I'm not sure if that actually says. Actually, there's no much left to explain. Yeah, this is what a current event can be like. A current event is kind of a world showing the country and city all around a big map, and they can charge by using a different map to find the same country it's in there. Well, not exactly. They can also spot you for doing something. Uh, People can actually videotape you doing something bad or doing something illegal. Like doing something to another person or doing something to another human being that bothers them, or just like bothering them in their personal space. Give me space and do all that crap like that. And it also shows the American and the Europe, and it shows a lot of countries and cities too. And the map shows other countries too, even the VM event show. It's the news show that can be explained in how many notes you can actually say, or people can actually say, have an opinion about the current event. In U.S. history class, we learned about the COVID event. What's your COVID-19 event? I explained it to the whole class, and I we have to wash hands every single time we touch something. Like that's all I've said. I said more things about it too. That can be pretty much explained. And Mr. Kuhn was like, "Oh, cool. I really like that." Mr. Kuhn always replies to people about. Mr. Kuhn always talks about grades, how grades are how your grades are doing. Most people have a C or D. When two persons have A. This U.S. history class is not that hard at all. Um, if you fail the class, you have to retake it. If you don't fail the class, then you don't have to retake it. Yeah, like if you fail something, you have to retake it again. You have to get a better grade. If you keep on failing it, then you're gonna have to stay on the grade when you're in. Yeah, just like I always stay on tasks and do all the crap online. Just like all of this. All right, so yeah, always stay on your work and stay on your focus. Don't do anything or just focus on your work. Just keep your eyes on your work. Just think about what you're going to say. Just put your effort to it and to find your way to think flexibly and do all this, just all those things above. All right, so all right, let me know if you have any questions. I can I can reply to you right away. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll see you on part 20.